is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. In my journey of selling trading cards and making content alongside, being part of the partner program is something that I really never thought was going to happen. I originally started making content just to keep myself in line from escaping my taboos of, drinking and going out and doing things that I don't need to do. Help me keep in line and stay true to, hey, if you're going to run a business, you have to make content, because content is one of the biggest ways to differentiate you from everybody else. And that's not just trading cards. So anybody who comes across this video who maybe not sell trading cards, you could be selling anything. It could be collectibles in general. It could be soaps. It could be clothes. All these things, when you sell them, you do not need a degree. You do not need a certification. You don't need any kind of specific piece of paper that says you have been vetted to be able to sell. Anyone can start selling whatever they want, whenever they want. And the one true way to differentiate yourself from others who are doing the same thing as you is to start putting your face, attaching it to the brand you're trying to grow, and really show people who you are, how you handle business, and what you are able to provide. And I have learned, especially in the last 4 to 6 months, how important that is. Because I've watched people talk about it, and you think, when you watch the Pokeyennies and some of the other guys talk about content, you who haven't even started or maybe just starting might go, yeah, I'm sure it's important, but it's not that important. But it is. I have the number of people I've met, the connections. I don't even have that many, but sometimes people reach out to you. They're looking for something. You can get a little business deal done. There are so many things that can branch out from just making yourself out, putting yourself out there, making yourself available. That is at the utmost importance. And YouTube is making some pretty serious changes to how to get into this partner program to be able to make a little extra money. And I wanted to talk about that because a lot of people have been going back and forth that on whether they want to or not, or is it right for them? Now might be the time to start, because it's going to be a whole lot harder to do. And we're going to talk about that a little bit in today's video. So before we do, if you do not know who I am, my name is Bronzgod, and I sell trading cards in Tcgplayer and eBay. We've been averaging about $40,000 a year in sales, mostly in bulk, which we are looking to exceed by the end of the year. In addition, we do have 2 other channels, one for weight loss, I'm on a weight loss journey, and one for gaming. Both of the links to those will be in the description below. We also do have a growing list of affiliate links. We do have a card uploader added to the list, which is an amazing platform. I think I've uploaded like 70,000 scans in the last 3 months. So if you want to check any of those out, you can save a little money. I can make a little money, and we can both win. So what is changing to the partnership program? The subscriber count is staying the same. You have to have 1,000 subscribers. That's the first one of 2 benchmarks. Right now, the other thing is you have to either have 4,000 total hours of watch time in a rolling calendar year, or 10 million total short views in a rolling calendar year. I always thought that the subscriber count was going to be the hardest, but I have found out that the view count, the view hours, is 1,000% more harder to do. Now, I have had a few people tell me that, when it comes to getting those 4,000 hours, you usually will just have one video that kind of pops off for whatever reason, and that's where you get the bulk of it, and that's what ended up happening to me. We had we're doing a video once a week, which if you do a video once a week, that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But unless you're getting like hundreds of views a video, you're not going to be able to get monetized that way, because it doesn't, the numbers, 10 to 20 hours a week times 52 weeks, you're not going to get there. Now, I'm not saying you should rush into making content and just put slop out there, because you obviously want to put things out that bring value to people, to bring value to your business. And you can bring value to your business by putting out valuable things that might help benefit other people to their business or whatever it is they're trying to do or learn or grow. So the hours is definitely going to be the hardest part, and really the only way you're going to get there, especially when you're like small like me or even smaller and just starting out, is putting something out there every day. Whether it's a 5-minute video, a 10-minute video, there's a lot of tutorials out there saying, what the perfect amount of time is to optimize this, or the best day to list and the best time to post. But ultimately, you just need to make it, and you need to put it out there, because if you're not going to do it, you're going to be putting yourself behind the 8 ball. So when it comes to these changes, they start at the beginning of the year. So January 27th, everything's going to double. Instead of 4,000 total 8 hours, you're going to need 8,000, which is a lot. And instead of 10 million short views, you'll need 20 million. Now that's and or. You don't have to do both of those. As long as the subscribers are met and one of those two metrics is met, you can apply. So that means if you have not started or you are just starting, you've got about 5 months to really start hammering it in gear to make sure you can get in before things get even harder, which I would really recommend. I'm still not the most consistent. I shoot to do a video every day. That doesn't happen some weeks. This past week especially, I did one like every other day, and it is what it is. You know, it's like anything else. You have a schedule, things get in the way. You have other priorities that come up, and it goes on the back burner. It's perfectly fine. But if you're trying to grow a business, and especially if you're wanting the extra income, which I'm not going to lie, I don't make a lot. I make like maybe $100, $200 a month. I had one, I think I got to like 300 for complete transparency, but that helps, when you're growing a business and you just get a free $200 to be able to go buy more stuff. The incentive is there to make content, Now, obviously when you start, it's going to have to be a little bit of a passion project when you're not getting a physical, not have to be money. If you're not getting a physical or upfront reward, I don't want to use that word, but essentially a reward for the time you're putting in, it can be defeating, and it could be like, why am I doing this? What's the purpose? But especially when you're doing content for a business, the physical or the money aspect of it is just a bonus. Like I said in the beginning, what you're trying to do is you're trying to put yourself out there. You're trying to show who you are as a person, because if someone comes in and sees Pokemart A, B, C, D, and E, and they all sell the same stuff, you're just all the same. But when you put your smiling face out there and you have a good personality and you start streaming and people can talk to you and they can see who you really are without a performance, that could be a driving factor to change how your business grows and goes on in the future. Same thing goes for like my personal job. I work in retail. I've worked in retail for 23 years. 27 years. I don't know why I lied about that. I'm good at math, but apparently not when it comes to my workforce history. But I'm sure you've gone into maybe a Starbucks or a restaurant, and you don't need a special thing to do a business. You can go to the state, register your LLC or whatever, get some money, and start a business. But I can tell you that the ones you go back to are usually the ones that separate themselves by having excellent customer service, the way they present themselves, the way they provide value, and the same thing goes with making content. And I can't stress enough how important it has been in not only my business growth, but my personal growth. Growing up, I have not necessarily been the most shy person. I'm relatively out there and personable. It's easy for me to make friends. It's easy for me to talk to people. But public speaking is like the number one thing that is a not faux pas, but like a lot of people have that nervousness about putting themselves out there, talking in front of people, talking in front of camera. You may not think talking in front of a camera in a room where no one around you is watching is a nerve-wracking thing, but it is. I just recording this now, I think I made like 7 attempts at an intro, and each time, this is how I reacted. I went, oh. You get so frustrated. It's like there's nothing to be frustrated about. You're just talking to a camera. You're putting stuff out there, and if you don't put it out there, someone else is, and they're going to be able to make a community out of that, make a potential profession out of it. And I'm not going to lie, with my new apartment I'm in, it's a little more than I expected to pay. So having the extra $200 or $300 a month to kind of offset some of the tightness that can happen is a boon, and it's a benefit. And when I don't, budget correctly, I can use that money to buy bulk. This is all 151 bulk that I got this weekend, which is pretty cool. And then that can turn into more things. And you're never going to have those opportunities if you don't take them. And I've talked about priorities a lot on this channel, which I'm still, struggling with, but we are getting better at. And I've been really trying hard to prioritize the things that get my money back as fast as possible, especially when buying and selling. There's moments where I can focus on the smaller stuff, but if you're spending a lot of money, you want to get as much money back as possible. So if you've got 5 months to try to get into the partner program to where you can start taking advantage of maybe getting a little extra income to boost your business or whatever it is, it might be worth starting now versus in 5 months. Because in 5 months, when everything doubles up, or whenever you watch this, if however close it is to January of 2027, a lot of times when you see how hard it is, that itself is his own pitfall to you not even starting. And it's hard now, but it's going to be harder in 5 months or however much time. So you might as well start now. Grab a camera, grab your phone, make still animations and just overdub them. Like you've seen those the VTubers, but they don't even have animated VTuber models. It's just like 5 different poses. And I mean, whatever you can do, just start recording, put something out there. And I promise you, even if you don't get monetized or it takes you longer and you still have to go through that extra bit at the beginning of the year, the skills you're going to learn, the confidence that you're going to give yourself, and the plethora of other positive effects that can come from making content is going to do so much for you that you're going to be a different person. I've had a few of my friends, my close friends that I've known since I've been in elementary school, 30 years plus, have told me just in my videos how much I've changed from the content that I make, which is crazy because, I mean, these are people that know everything about me. They know my pros, my cons, my weaknesses, my strengths, and to still get that type of acknowledgement of like confidence changing or the way that you're able to talk or communicate. I did a video about a week or 2 ago. I'll try to link that in the description where, I talked about my humble beginnings on YouTube and how horrible the quality was. But, even if you have bad quality, someone's still going to click on your video and give it a shot because, hey, you're new. There's a lot of people, when they start, they kind of treat themselves like an underdog. Like, man, no one's ever going to watch me, but you know what? I'm going to be that guy, or I'm going to be that girl. I'm going to be that girl that starts from nothing and get to something. And that can be a driving force in a lot of different things that you're chasing, whether it be content, weight loss, whatever goal you're searching for. Having that chip on your shoulder, like, it's impossible to do, but I can do it, and I know I can do it, can be enough of a driving force to get you to the finish line. So, make content. It's not hard, but it is hard, and there's nothing but beneficial things that come from it. Yes, you're going to get the odd person that comes in and calls you an idiot or some expletive, but that happens with everything else. That happens in your daily life. People will say under their breath after you talk to them, what a fucking jerk or whatever, like, whatever, it's not that hard, guys. Just make the content, grow your business, improve your life, improve your skills, and do it before the end of the year so you have a solid chance of getting in that program. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. We do have a Discord, so make sure you join that. We are growing rapidly. We're almost at like 120 members now, which is pretty cool. Just casual place, just talk about cardboard, content, everything in between. And hope that helped. Let me know what you think I got right and wrong and all that. So hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one, and have a good one.